Did you know that the 1988 martial arts film Bloodsport was based on the true story of Frank Dukes, and that he actually holds all of these records? From 1979 to 1980, Frank W. Dukes fought 329 matches. He retired undefeated as the world heavyweight full contact Kumite champion. He still holds 4 world records: fastest knockout in 3.2 seconds, fastest punch with a knockout 0.42 seconds, fastest kick with a knockout 72 miles per hour, and most consecutive knockouts in a single tournament 56. And subsequently, Mr. Dukes founded the first American ninjutsu system, Dukes Ryu. Now, despite all of what I just read being absolute nonsense and not true, I freaking love Bloodsport. It's one of my favorite 80s films. I think it's Jean-Claude Van Damme's best film. True story time. I saw Bloodsport when I was a kid, and I loved it so much that I begged my parents to sign me up for karate lessons. And what they did is they actually knew a Russian martial art expert, and they asked him to teach me, and so I would do training sessions once or twice a week for a few years, and it was really cool. Bloodsport is not Jean-Claude Van Damme's first film, but it is his biggest early film, and I would still say it's probably his biggest film and the one that really got him on the map. Basically, Jean-Claude Van Damme plays an American military deserter who goes to Hong Kong to fight in an underground martial arts tournament for the honor of his teacher and his clan. That's basically all you need to know to go into the film. Once he gets to Hong Kong, he meets Jackson, played by Donald Gibb, who you may know from the Revenge of the Nerds films. He plays Ogre. Nerds! They're taken into the fighting area, and we meet some of the other participants, and you have people from different places in the world, and they all have their different fighting style. You have Chong Li, who's from China, and he has his martial arts. You have a sumo from Japan. You have people who are kickboxers and street fighters. There's a lot of different styles at play here, and it's one of the things I really like about the film. So yeah, the rest of the film is about the tournament, is about the different fights. You have Bolo Young playing Chong Li, who is the antagonist of the film. He is the return champion. He's never been defeated. He's brutal, he's violent, he's killed someone in the past. And he plays a really good villain because he doesn't say much, but he has this like really dark, menacing presence to him, which just makes you want to root against him. And Jean-Claude Van Damme in '88 was young, some sort of baby-faced. He's funny, he's a little charismatic, he's easy to root for, and his buddy Donald Gibb is really funny as well, easy to root for. Some of my favorite scenes obviously include the split, when Van Damme does a split and punches the sumo guy right in his dick as hard as he can. Dude took that shot really well. I don't know what's going on there. The really goofy scene where the military police, one of whom is Forrest Whitaker, arrive to Hong Kong and they find him and they want to bring him back, but he runs away, and there's this little cheesy, goofy chase sequence through the heart of Hong Kong. And you see Jean-Claude Van Damme running and them two chasing him. And it's just so funny and goofy that it's a delight. The first scene where he shows up and they don't believe he's who he is, and they tell him to show them the Dimak, the death touch, and he has to break a brick. But he has to break a brick on the bottom, not at the top. And he does that scene and boom. The scene where Jackson later on tries to replicate that, can't, so he just breaks a brick over his head. There's just so many fun moments in this film that it's hard to pinpoint any one of them. The other thing I really like about this film, and actually this goes to a broader liking of older films, is where it was filmed. This film was actually filmed on location in parts of Hong Kong and Kowloon Walled City. The Kowloon Walled City was sort of a city within a city, and it was about 6.5 acres with 50,000 people in it. It was absolutely insane, just people on top of people jammed in there, high rises in there. And if you watch the film, there's moments where they're walking through these back alleys and these dark walls and hallways, and that's the Kowloon Walled City. It was torn down in 1994 because it was not safe. Organized crime ran it, the triads ran it. It was dangerous to live there. It was lawless. But from an outside perspective, it's a really interesting thing to look at and to see on film. So seeing the Hong Kong city when he's being chased, when they're walking to the tournament, when he's at the hotel and different parts of it is really interesting because that no longer exists. You're just not gonna see that anymore. It's the same thing if you watch a film from the 70s or 80s set in New York, filmed in New York. just the way the streets look, the cars, the grime, the dirtiness, that's all gone, right? Or if you're watching a film in Los Angeles, set in Los Angeles, filmed in Los Angeles, they changed the lights in the city from kind of fluorescent yellow to just kind of white, and it just changed the whole look of the film. So I love seeing these films that show you a glimpse into the past of how a city used to be, how a location used to be, what made it tick, the people, the buildings, the streets, the ambience of it. That's a big part of the film, and I really like it. So even if you don't like the fighting, even if you don't like the characters or the music or anything like that, you have these glimpses into the past that are really awesome. I think the music's really nice in this. It's high energy, pulsing, really exciting, gets you going. Van Damme is really good in these films where he goes to a martial arts tournament and he has to fight for some noble reason, and he's in stark opposition for some really bad guys there. He does it in this film, Kickboxer, Lionheart, The Quest, and it's a formula that works. There's a natural progression because you have your earlier, smaller fights and you get to introduce your antagonist and see all the bad stuff he does. And then each round, it's getting closer and closer. You can obviously tell that the final is gonna be our hero versus our villain, but how they get there, the fights in between, the fun moments. Go watch Bloodsport again. The nostalgia hit is amazing. See the locations, go read up about the Kowloon walled city because it is fascinating and interesting. You will never have a situation like that again. Read about that and then go watch the film and see some of those locations and just enjoy yourself and have a good time. See a young Van Damme, young Forrest Whitaker, and see some badass action. Until next time, stop scrolling, start watching.